very well, Saint. Thank you very much indeed. Good evening, everybody. As the teams come out, Stuttgart in the red. Our first duty as normal. There's a good contingent of Leeds United fans, about 1,500 of them here, I'm told. And certainly there'll be no need for Howard Wilkinson to motivate his side here tonight. They feel they've had a raw deal. Let's just have a look at the two teams though. Leeds then with John Lukic in goal, John Newsom at number 2, number 3 Tony Dorigo, 4 David Batty, 5 Chris Fairclough, 6 Chris White, 7 Gordon Strachan, 8 Eric Cantona, 9 Lee Chapman, 10 Gary McAllister and 11 Gary Speed. A change of defensive formation, as the Saint was saying, for Leeds. Fairclough will play at right back and mark the dangerous Kurgel. Newsom joins White at the centre of the defence, with Batty returning to the midfield. Strachan stays wide on the right, supported by McAllister, and Speed will get a free roll down the left. Stadium here that can hold 120,000 fans. Here's Eric Cantona, and usually does when Barcelona are playing. Today I doubt there are more than about 7,000 people here. Incidentally, UEFA have made it still, for all that, a Category A game, and so Barcelona have no fewer than 5,000 staff here on duty tonight. If that sounds as crazy as it does to you as it does to me. Let's get on to the Stuttgart team then. In goal they have Ike Immel, 2 Gunter Schäfer, 3 Michael Fronzek, 4 the Yugoslav Slobodan Dubacic, 5 Thomas Struntz, 6 Guido Buchwald, the captain, 7 Andreas Buch, who scored in both the legs, 8 the Icelandic international Sverrisson, 9 Fritz Walter, Stuttgart's most dangerous player, 10 Andre Golke, who comes in for Gaudinho, and 11 Ludwig Kurgel. They've got a pretty settled formation really, where Buchwald is the biggest influence in their defence, German international. They made good use of the flanks through Buch and Kurgel, and of course there's always Walter to puncture Leeds' ambitions. Referee tonight comes from Italy, Fabio Baldas, with 2 Italian linesmen and 5 substitutes, of course, of which 2 can be played. Ray Wallace, you'll notice, amongst the Leeds United substitutes. Now the talking and the politics and the arguments about whether or where this match should be played are over. It's going to be decided now in this magnificent stadium here in 90 minutes. Maybe it might need extra time, maybe, who knows, penalties. But it'll be over tonight, a fresh game, and it'll be finished one way or the other, with this eerie backdrop here in the Camp Nou Stadium. Capacity, as I say, of 120,000, and just something like 5,000 or 6,000 inside. Leeds in the yellow strip. David Batty, number 4, gets this third game underway. Batty sitting into that midfield there. White just nodding it here for Dorigo. Wilkinson saying we've got to go for them from the start, pick up exactly where we left off on that brilliant night in Ellen Road, go for the jugular, as he says, and a goal kick. The point he made was that the fantastic Ellen Road crowd that night panicked the Germans. Well, there won't be a crowd here tonight that will do that, and so he says my players have got to do it for me. But equally, as he's well aware, mustn't make silly mistakes and lose the tie really over the first quarter of an hour. Stuttgart, who are 5th in the German First Division. Batty knocking it out. Chapman throwing it in for Gary Speed. This free rein mostly over on the left-hand side, but he's gone to the right at the moment now. Cantona trying to turn, trying to find Speed in there again. Batty getting in there, just nicking the ball to Strachan for Leeds United. A bright little start here for Leeds. Newsom with his first touch, centre back there alongside Chris White. Strachan again, trying to get Cantona in once more. And the ball knocked away, but still the Germans can't get it away. This time it's Strachan, turning inside very neatly. Cantona had strayed into an offside position and gone off the field of play. It's with Strachan again. For Leeds. Chris Fairclough with it. No. Chapman up for that one. And it came off Chapman's head for a goal kick for Stuttgart. So I'm saying the Leeds felt they had a raw deal over this business, and I think most fair-minded people probably would agree with them. Of course, it's history now that Stuttgart fielded that one foreign player too many at Ellen Road and broke UEFA's own rules. Most felt that the Germans should have been eliminated, at the very least that Leeds should have got a third game at Ellen Road. So you can see that Wilkinson's work really has been done for him tonight. Leeds coming out there with a real let's show 'em attitude. And you can be absolutely sure there was scrupulous checking of both team lists tonight. Germans with their three foreigners, Dubicic, Knupp is the second one, and Sverrisson of Iceland is the third. Added three foreigners and three assimilated foreigners, two assimilated foreigners. Strachan getting it in, Buchwald with a header away, McAllister trying to volley it back, and another goal kick for Stuttgart, who've hardly been out of it, if indeed they have been out of their first half in the opening 3 minutes of the game.
Well, that's what Howard Wilkinson said he was going to do. He was going to attack Stuttgart, and in the opening minutes of this game, they've certainly thrown everything into the Stuttgart half. And I suppose maybe that is the best way to play. If they could get an early goal in the first 10 or 15 minutes, which they obviously would hope to do, then really Stuttgart have got a problem.
Newsom getting back, being hustled by Fritz Walter. And you do get the impression, Dennis, that it's a very, very big pitch, this one. And both sides who've leaked goals recently, you would be surprised if there weren't one or two goals in this game here tonight.
Hopefully there will be, and hopefully that they will be more for Leeds United, because after their stirring performance in the second game, really they deserve to go through, didn't they? And really, UEFA really copped out. Stuttgart should be out. They broke the rule. They had 4 foreign players, and Leeds should not be having to play this game. But in saying that, I'm sure Howard Wilkinson is quite happy to have the opportunity of still being in the tournament. And they know themselves tonight that they've got to go out, because the whole world will be watching this game, won't they? What the result will be. And if Leeds go about it the right way, then there's no... I saw Stuttgart prior to the season, as we both did, the Makita tournament. I didn't think they were a great side, and I was very surprised when Leeds came back from the first game 3-0 down. I thought they had Fritz Walter up front, who looked a very sharp player indeed, but I was most surprised. But Leeds came back in the second game, and this is why this game is on tonight. So let's hope that we'll sort of pray that Leeds could win the game.
Batty with that header there, won by Dorigo. Speed. Batty again. So I think Leeds are confident enough. I think they feel they have the measure of Stuttgart, just providing they can keep their discipline and their concentration, which was lacking, and there was a lack of concentration there in the German side, which was certainly lacking by Leeds in that first game in Stuttgart. But here's Walter on the break again. Newsom going with him this time, the ball out of play. But he's quick, is this man Fritz Walter. For the start of this season, 135 goals from 270 starts. As Howard Wilkinson was saying this morning, he's Germany's answer to Gary Lineker, and really it's Chris Fairclough here who's got to do a really good tight marking job on Kürgel and leave Newsom and White to look after Fritz Walter. Indeed, there is Fairclough really hustling Kürgel, though Kürgel was deep inside his own half. This is Dubicic, the Yugoslav, playing it to Andreas Buch. Away past Gary Speed, showing some good acceleration, then brought down by McAllister, and a free kick to Stuttgart just outside the Leeds penalty area. So Buck brought down, Leeds getting 4 or 5 men in the wall, Lukic wanting a clear sight at it. Behind it, Fritz Walter behind it. So, an excellent shot there of Lukic lining up that wall. So it might be Fonzek, who has a real left-footed dig on him, with Struntz playing the short ball, the number 5 to Fonzek. Dunn's claiming that Strachan is within the 10 yards. It's really alert there. He didn't know. Baldas, and shot well wide of the Leeds goal. It's the man who made the mistake in that second game. Dieter Hernis there. Too many foreigners on their team list. Leeds very relaxed about John Newsom coming into the central defensive position. Howard Wilkinson saying that he played a good dozen or so games there towards the end of last season and said was probably one of our best players. There's Dorigo playing it in towards Eric Cantona. Up he goes, but he doesn't get to it. But Strachan might on the far side. Fonzek's going with him. It's a goal kick.
Now, little Strachan was unlucky there, wasn't it? It was a nice ball that went over. Little Strachan had made the run on the right. Just a bit too fast for him. But he's going to be a key player for Leeds United tonight. He's such a commanding figure as a midfielder. He makes everything tick. He makes the moves go.
Immel with the goal kick for Stuttgart. Sverrisson got ahead to it, but Dorigo got a boot to it. Chapman knocking it back for Gary Speed. Chapman playing it in towards Eric Cantona. The little flick from him goes straight though to Fonzek for Stuttgart. Headed down and away by Newsom to Strachan. Towards Chapman. Cantona. Speed's come towards the far post. Backing off, Baldas there with him. Dorigo. Cantona will judge the bounce rather better than Schaefer. Foul on the Frenchman gives Leeds United a free kick. And of course, Glasgow Rangers await the winners of this game in the next round of the European Cup. Walter Smith and Archie Knox, 2 men at the helm at Ibrox, are here tonight. Dorigo playing it in. Cantona stretching that long neck of his, but couldn't quite get to it.
He played magnificent, didn't he, in the second game? I thought that he was... Well, Leeds United played particularly well, but Cantona was excellent. He caused so many problems, didn't he, in the Stuttgart defence. He was good in the air. Scored the goal if you want to give it.
Good jump by Chris White. Knocked back. Immel has to knock it away with his feet, of course. Leeds United's throw. They've made the brighter of the start of the two sides, Dennis Law.
Without a doubt, yes. As you say, they've taken the game to Stuttgart. They've knocked the ball about well. You know, they haven't looked particularly dangerous, but they've not allowed Stuttgart to settle down at all.
Fairclough with a header. Fonzek being hustled by Chapman. And another throw to Leeds United. A lot of confidence of Leeds United built on the fact that they felt, certainly for the first hour in the first game in Stuttgart, they more than held their own, looked really comfortable. It was only when they lost their discipline and showed their European inexperience over the last half an hour that they leaked 3 goals. Then, of course, they thoroughly dominated the second leg, having already beaten Stuttgart in the Makita Trophy, the pre-season, up at Ellen Road. Kogel gets it away. Player who plays in fits and starts. You just have to hope, if you're a Leeds fan, that this is not one of his nights. He's a couple of caps for Germany. Chris Fairclough, the man who's got the job of watching him tonight. Another throw for Leeds. in there, Cantona in there, Gary Speed in there. Knocked back again, and across the face of the goal, and very nearly prodded in the end. I think it was Buchwald who got a boot to it and put it behind for the corner. Some excellent work by Batty, some excellent work by Cantona, and some threatening work by Leeds United all through.
Well, that was a good move. It was nicely put up. Batty fired across, it could go anywhere. And there was, I think it was Buchwald, wasn't it, to knock it over for the corner, but it's a good pressure from Leeds United.
Chapman at the near post, White on the 6-yard area, Cantona just outside the 6-yard area. Chipped in towards that near post. McAllister. Batty playing it in again.
But if they could keep doing that and not allowing Stuttgart to get there, Fabio had the ball, haven't they? They put the pressure on them, and that was a good opportunity there.
Foul there on the number 10 Golka, and a yellow card for Tony Dorigo.
But if they could keep doing that and not allowing Stuttgart to get there, Fabio had the ball, haven't they? They put the pressure on them, and that was a good opportunity there.
A foul there on the number 10 Golka, and a yellow card for Tony Dorigo. Stuttgart, Dubicic. Golka, who didn't play in the first 2 legs, but played against Leeds in the Makita Trophy for the number 8. This is Strunz, and they bought from Bayern Munich. Cantona just stretching out and allowed Dubicic to get in. This is Book. Rigo watching him. 2 of Stuttgart's goals, one in the first leg and that's what looked to be a crucial one in the second leg. Both came from this side of the field. Andreas Book. Strunz to Dubicic. To Buchwald. Lukic quickly out of his goal. Buchwald, picked up here by David Batty. Cantona, Speed. Unfair challenge, and a free kick for Leeds. Strunz with the challenge. Alistair with the free kick, floating it towards Gary Speed. Dubicic gets it away. Look, quarter of an hour gone. This playoff game in the European Cup, 0-0 here in Barcelona between Stuttgart and Leeds United. Dubicic. Cantona. Curious mistake by Dubicic back there, dwelled on the ball for so long. Now it's Speed to get in, but a goal kick for all that. I'm one of nature's great pessimists, and although Leeds are pressing and doing well here, you just always fear that their concentration might just slip for a moment. And if it does, it's the Leeds bench, if it does, then the likes of Fritz Walter, Kurgel and Buck will be in and might well punish them very severely. They've got to remain diligent at the back as well. Schaefer. On towards Golka, but Mr. McAllister. Must have been a foul by Cantona there. Wilkinson. Copious note taker. There's a quarter of an hour at half time to put whatever might be going wrong right. As with Big Kogel, Dubicic. Again, caught in possession this time by Cantona. Looked like an obstruction there by Dubicic, who's not exactly having the best of nights so far.
Well, that wasn't a particularly good ball, but you must say, even in the opening 15-16 minutes, that Leeds have done all right. They've had that one opportunity, but they look comfortable, don't they? They're knocking it down. They don't look too dangerous, but at the same time, they're not giving anything away at the back. Newsom at the back is doing much well for what he's had to do. As you probably said, Ryan, that you've got to watch Futbol and Kogel and Buck up front to keep a hold of those three, then fine. But at the moment, Leeds will be, I'm sure, will be quite happy the way the things are going.
Here's Fronzek now for Stuttgart. Powerful run here by the defender. Likes to get it onto his left foot, but couldn't do that. In comes Dorigo, and a nice little back heel. No, it didn't quite run for Dorigo from very speed. But a throw for Leeds United. Towards Chapman, having a good lean on Guido Buchwald there. Buchwald doing a bit of leaning of his own accord. Strachan knocking it back to Newsom. Towards Lee Chapman. Nodded on by him, but nobody else in a yellow shirt there.
Lee looked a bit frustrated there, didn't he? But he's got to forget that. There's going to be a battle up in that area anyway.
White, keep where it's safe. Schaefer, Dubicic. Chapman's after him. And Fairclough will surely get there before Kogel. And a lovely bit of play there by Fairclough, turning beautifully, sending that up the line for Strachan. But sadly for Leeds United, nobody in a yellow shirt to get on the end of Strachan's pass, and it's Buchwald, the captain now for Stuttgart. Played into Golka, knocked forward again to Walter. Newsom's there.
Good defender.
22 years old, John Newsom, Sheffield boy. Played the first 8 games of this season, but then was left out of the first leg, and this is his first game since that first leg in Stuttgart. Sorry, Dennis.
I was just saying, good defending, wasn't it? You saw Fritz Walter make that very fast run and defended well.
Fairclough. Dorigo. Some neat play here by Leeds United. Speed taking it up again. Brought down right under the referee's eye there by Sverrisson.
Well, if Dorigo had been booked before, that was definitely one that should have been booked as well.
Well, it's a free kick for Leeds. John Newsom with it. 1,500 Leeds fans behind the Stuttgart goal, urging their team in yellow on now. Alistair also there, number 10. Moving it towards Cantona and Speed. They both went up for that one. Walter got a bit caught up there, so did the referee. And they both tumbled into the box there. I think put off by the Italian referee. And both are down. I think it's McAllister down for Leeds United. It is. And Struntz for Stuttgart.
The right calamity, the referee got in the way, didn't he?
That's right.
McAllister bumped, well, really clattered into Struntz. The referee, I didn't play a particularly good 1-2 there with the referee. It was a bit of a knock.
Struntz, very important utility player for them, a man who cost them £1 million from Bayern Munich. But there's no doubt at all about it also that if he's struggling, it's very important that Leeds United get Gary McAllister back on their feet again, because He really is vital to Leeds United's course through that midfield area.
I think McAllister is all right, but a bit of a knock, wasn't it? Yeah, Gary's all right anyway.
Yeah.
But I think Strunz could be having a problem. McAllister definitely all right, but he seemed to knock him on the knee, seemed to catch him on the knee, didn't it? Looks in a bit of pain.
I gather there's some villagers from Eric Cantona's home village in France. They've come here to support old Ouah himself. Well, Strunz is going off.
Well, it looked a nasty knock, didn't it? Caught him on the knee.
And they're already beginning to warm up the number 15 Stremel. Here's Golka getting Book in there. He held up for a little moment, and Leeds almost caught out there between Book and Volta.
Well, they've really got to be careful on that, haven't they? The quick breakaway by the Germans.
Here's Cantona. Up ahead of him is Lee Chapman, who's in the shackles of Buchwald at the moment.
Yes, I mean, that was really a terrific opportunity for Stuttgart, and Fritz Walter didn't get a hold of it, but Leeds have got to be careful.
Well, Stremel's coming on now. And Strunz will be missing from those midfield areas. That's really quite a blow for Stuttgart. And Strunz will be missing from those midfield areas. That's really quite a blow for Stuttgart. Strachan knocked in towards Gary Speed, and a goal kick. Curious flat atmosphere here, isn't it? It's amazing. Have you ever played in a game where there's so few people in the stadium as big as this place?
Well, we were talking before the game started, and no, I haven't, and you could see the empty terracing here as that ball has come over, and it really is such a huge stadium, isn't it? Look at it. I mean, you could actually pick a spectator for each part of the ground, couldn't you? I don't think you still fill it.
Except for us TV commentators, who are virtually in a position to shake hands with the man on the moon. They're all crowded into about sort of 5 square yards.
Well, I tell you what, you should have been in Moscow last week, because we did it from a single-decker bus off the track, and now we're, as you say, so far away from the pitch.
Stremel with the header there. Here's Strachan. Up to Lee Chapman. Strachan. So we're up here somewhere. Fatty gets it back to White. Now to Newsom. Forward again towards Chapman. McAllister trying to get to this one and will succeed in doing so. Buchwald's come across there, which means he's left Chapman for a moment, but his challenge was a good one. Found Book with a little pass. Strachan tried to bring him back, and there was no foul there, said the Italian referee. Strachan in possession again, floating it in again towards Cantona. Down he goes, and the referee just waves play on. In fact, it's a goal kick.
It's going to be hard for the two front players, Chapman and Cantona. They're knocking long balls up. There's so many defenders. They're going to get knocked. I think Cantona went for a bit of a penalty there, but it certainly didn't look as far from where we were, but maybe we're so far away. But it's going to be a difficult night for the strikers, particularly when they knock long balls.
It's a throw on the far side then for Leeds, which Chris Fairclough will take. Still 0-0 here in Barcelona between Stuttgart and Leeds United to decide who plays Glasgow Rangers in the next round of the European Cup. Batty crossing it in. Chapman trying to get it on the turn. A shot by Cantona, not really with enough pace to worry Ike Immel. Although, to be fair, he's a goalkeeper that hasn't looked very convincing in the couple of legs so far. Good header by Newsom as we see Immel going down again. Stremel. Out of play.
It is difficult to play in these conditions as well. You know, the lack of atmosphere. It's, but for both teams, not only for Leeds United, but also for Stuttgart as well. Look at that, I mean, it's the empty ground, isn't it? There is no doubt about that. It's the winning of the battle between the two fans is done by Leeds United. I came over with many of them on the plane this afternoon from London. They travelled down by car, left at 3 o'clock in the morning or something, so they really deserve something from tonight.
Here's Batty. To be fair, the Leeds fans at the moment have got a bit more to shout about. It's still 0-0, but it's been Leeds who've been doing more of the pressing without absolutely making a chance for themselves yet, but looking quite threatening as Cantona plays it down. McAllister almost got that in his stride, knocks it back again for little Strachan. Charged away again by the Stuttgart defence to Golka. Speed picking up that mistake from the substitute. Down he goes, right on the edge of the box. This could be interesting. McAllister will get in behind this one. Strachan might fancy a little teaser. Dorigo's one who thumps his free kicks in, and it's inside the D, right on the edge of that Stuttgart penalty area.
And Gary Speed, I mean, he was determined that he was going to get through that, and they had to pull him down. I don't think he was too happy with that tackle.
No yellow cards. Immel does a lining up job. Speed is still on the ground, getting to his feet. Leeds are still protesting to the referee. They felt there should have been, I don't know whether they were looking for a yellow card on one of the Stuttgart players, but they weren't very happy with the challenge, that's for sure. Let's see what they can do with this free kick to punish it. Strachan behind it, Dorigo, as I say, the three there, Strachan, Dorigo and McAllister. Batty just placing the ball on the spot, plenty in the wall. I just wonder what sort of view Immel's got of it. Batty's still determinedly placing that ball on the correct spot. Who's it going to be? McAllister! It's saved! And it's pushed just wide by Fairclough.
Well, that really was very, very unlucky indeed, because Stuttgart had pulled all their players back into the penalty, 7 in the wall. McAllister, thunderous shot, good save by Immel, and there was Fairclough, unlucky just to screw it wide.
And while that's been happening, Stuttgart got on with the job. Leeds had to get themselves back in defensive positions fairly quickly. Here's Stremel taking it from Sverrisson into Golka. Dorigo getting back there, and then losing out to Stremel. Sverrisson onto the left foot, wide of Lukic's goal.
This was very unlucky. It was a good save by Immel, wasn't it? He saved it well, but there was Fairclough. You just feel you feel the whole situation if it had been a forward, and then there's Sverrisson at the other end. Weak shot it was. I mean, it looks dangerous from there, but we saw it was going well wide. We just felt like Fairclough had it been a forward by, you know, I'm not saying...
Yeah, I think if he'd been on target with it, because I think Immel was down and was completely off balance and out of the picture.
Well, he had made such a great save that he was down and out of the game completely, and if, as you say, if it had been on target, then it would have been in the net.
Lukic's free kick. Sverrisson's header for Stuttgart. Chris Fairclough for Leeds United, up to Lee Chapman. Buchwald. Hewson battling with Walter. Up goes McAllister. Fronzek. And somehow Chapman is alleged to have fouled Fronzek there. It's a free kick to Stuttgart. Just past the half-hour mark. Harrison again. Kurgel chasing. Fairclough going with him, but Fairclough had spotted that was going into touch for a throw to Leeds United. Batty. They look a much more comfortable side with Batty in the midfield, I must say. Dorigo. Here he is again, Batty. A real all-action man, and never really looked totally at home in that right-back position, which was forced on him in the opening 2 games. It came off the German. It'll be a throw to Leeds. fairly chastening last week for the German side. They lost those 4 goals in Leeds and then promptly went to play Eintracht Frankfurt in the Bundesliga and lost 4-0 last weekend. Leeds, of course, lost 4-2 last weekend at Ipswich. Still no goals here tonight as yet. Bronzek getting it away, not very well. It might come to Cantona, no, just wouldn't come down quickly enough for him. As I was saying, it is such a big pitch, and from this crow's nest view that we've got here, Dennis, you can see what a big pitch it is, and it's very difficult to defend with great discipline over 90 minutes on a pitch like this.
Very much indeed, and so Leeds could be happy with where the things are going.
Fairclough with the cross towards Scary Speed, couldn't quite knock it back to the liking of Chapman, but a bad clearance again, going straight to Strachan. Returning it, a fantastic goal for Leeds United. Good, Strachan puts Leeds ahead.
Well, it was no more than they deserved. I mean, they've taken the game to Stuttgart. They've had couple of reasonable opportunities. We felt that Speed's header just before that could have been a better header back to Chapman, but of course it was a bad clearance by Stuttgart. Comes out to Strachan, and he's not one to score that many goals, and certainly not from that distance. He's hit it very well indeed. Immel had just got a touch to it, didn't get enough to knock it past the post, and there was Leeds' first goal. It really was a superb, and who better to score than little Strachan, who's been an inspiration for Leeds United.
Now it's important that they keep themselves together, that they get their tackles in now and don't let the Germans get back quickly into this game. Strachan with a long cross ball this time, only his 2nd goal of the season.
Well, it couldn't have come in a better time, and Immel will be a bit disappointed, wasn't he? He got his hand to it, but didn't get enough to knock it past the post.
Strachan with a long cross ball this time, only his 2nd goal of the season.
Well, it couldn't have come in a better time, and Immel will be a bit disappointed, wasn't he? He got his hand to it, but didn't get enough to knock it past the post. But they've been threatening, haven't they? They haven't been sort of dominating the game, but they've taken the game to Leeds. They've been the better team, and they really deserve that goal.
Here's Schaefer. It all came actually from a bad clearance out of defence as well, which Strachan picked up. But here's Schaefer now. The cross is in, and it's easy for John Lukic. So with that goal, after some 33 minutes of flying, attempted a save there, and that's the reaction from the Leeds United bench. Speed trying to get in amongst them this time. Here's little Strachan on that far side again. In for Cantona. And a corner now for Leeds. It came off Buchwald. 11 minutes to go to half-time. Played it short this time to McAllister. Good little turn again. Been Strachan a yard. Now he's given McAllister a couple of yards. He gets a good ball in there. White will try and keep it going. Finds Batty. Flicked on again this time towards Newsom right up there, but he's played it a little too firmly, goes behind for the goal kick.
Well, they've not been afraid to throw players forward, have they? I mean, there's Newsom, the central defender, right up in the Stuttgart penalty area. Didn't quite control it, but the point being that they've got the goal. Beautiful goal at that. Struck beautiful. What a lovely Scottish player. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
It's a beautiful picture, isn't it? And here come Leeds again. McAllister. They've had the better of it, they look comfortable, they've just got to stay firm and strong and disciplined. Can't repeat that often enough, because German sides are the same whenever they play. They are fantastic competitors. They're always likely to sneak something right at the end when the least you want it.
That's true, Brian, but they've got to come out, whether they come out in this half, if the scoreline finishes at 1-0, or the second half, and by doing that, and we've so many games in the past, haven't we, when they come out to get the equalising goal, the other team could break away and get the second, and you feel that if Leeds could get that, then the game will be over. 1, it's not over. 2, I would say for definite.
Foul by McAllister there, spotted by the Italian referee. Free kick to Stuttgart. There's the goal again. coming in from all angles, but it still counts only one. Batty. Once again, White getting his head to it, goes behind for the corner.
A little bit of a mix-up with White and Lukic. You felt if Lukic maybe had shouted, White could have left that instead of giving away the corner.
Kögel with the corner, usually delivers a good one, and five big defenders up from the back on the edge of that Leeds penalty area. Kögel driving it in there, and it goes behind for the goal kick. Golter wasn't far though at that far post from tucking it in again. They really must watch him all the time.
He wasn't, but to be fair, he was well offside. And I'm looking down at the linesman. I mean, you'll see it here when the header comes in. He's got well offsides, and the linesman did not put his flag up. Well, they should look a bit happier, shouldn't they?
Some fantastic aerial battles going on between Cantona and defenders and Chapman and defenders. It's about 8 minutes to half-time. If you've just joined us, the news is good. Leeds United leading Stuttgart by 1-0. The scorer, Gordon Strachan. Here's Dubicic for Stuttgart in the red strip. Good ball there. Play for Stremel. Tossed in by him. Well, it's Golka who scored the equaliser. And the news suddenly not so good. A great cross in there by the substitute, Stremel.
Incredible, isn't it? It's one of their few attacks. It was a very good cross, and there was Golka unmarked to have that header, make it very difficult for the goalkeeper. One of those that invariably is a goal, but as you see as the ball comes across, Golka on, as it goes over, Golka completely unmarked, and Lucas has no chance. Obviously a bad goal to lose, but very
Here's
difficult.
McAllister. Sorry, Dennis. Golka again. Stremel. Loud noise now has a German accent to it. Sverrisson sweeps it wide to Kögel. Kögel getting past Fairclough, but not past Newsom. Dubicic. Wide to Book again. Dorigo. Knocking it away. Chapman coming across. Buchwald is there with him. Buchwald's clearance. Dorigo's header for Leeds. Walter, stopped by White. Here's Batty, surging forward again. Gary Speed, David Batty. Newsom. To Cantona. He's turned his man beautifully here. What sort of cross can we find? Can he reach Chapman with it? No, he can't. Here it is with Buck again. Stremel. Kögel. Walter up ahead. It's gone past Fairclough. Little acceleration. Sverrisson's waiting in the middle, so too is Walter! And nodded away by Dorigo for the corner. So Leeds, in this last 5 minutes before half-time, somewhat under the whip. As well, there's the goal by Golka that made it 1-1. But it was a good piece of defending a moment ago by Dorigo, under a lot of pressure. It's not over yet for Leeds, as Kögel now delivers this corner. In inside the last 5 minutes of the first half. Gary Speed gets it away with a good, powerful header. Schaefer. And a goal kick for Leeds. Lukic with the goal kick. So about 3 minutes to half-time, 1-1 the score as you can see. Batty being forced back but finds Chris White as an ally. Played now to Lukic. The only player who played in all 49 League and Cup games last season, the big goalkeeper, and all 14 this season for Leeds as well. He certainly had no chance with that Golka header just a moment ago that made it 1-1. And here's Golka again. Trying to get Buck in. But Dorigo had regained his ground very quickly, turns it away very skillfully and finds David Batty. Up to McAllister. Now to Chapman. Newsom. Cantona. Strong fella turned away, got away from Schaefer there with that little challenge of his. McAllister trying to get it in again. Come to McAllister once again. Speed supporting him, but between them they just couldn't make anything of it, and Stuttgart get it away to Book. Into Golka again. Baldas up ahead of him. Kurgel's away on the left. Dubicic, the big sweeper's up from the back as well. But in the end, Fairclough and Newsom with a chance to get it away. Cleared there by John Lukic. Batty. Oh, sold him a bit short there to Strachan. And Batty went into the challenge. I think on Fronzek. Yes. And a free kick to Stuttgart. Batty's challenge in a way forced on him by being shortchanged by that pass from Gordon Strachan. Well, we're towards the last minute of the first half now. Leeds must defend stoutly here with the score at 1-1. Must not concede another goal before half-time. Fronzek fit again. The free kick. And it must have just flicked off a Leeds head. Just quite surprised by that decision from the Italian linesman. And Buck will take it. To Buchwald. Played in again. White with the clearance. Another throw to Stuttgart. This game still beautifully balanced. They'd like to go into the next round against Rangers. Some real money making. Of course, the European League taking over after that, the following rounds. And it really, as I've said before, dipping your hand in the honey pot. You're playing time added on at the end of the first 45 minutes. Played in once again, and there should be Lukic's ball, and he was quite comfortably. Dorigo. And a Stuttgart through. Extremo. Golka. Out of play. Free kick again. Foul that time by Cantona. Already taken. Dubicic. Golka. And a who scored the goal. Thrown out of Leeds United, hoping to get a word with Howard Wilkinson before he goes off to the dressing room to get his reaction to that first half. Here's Chris White. John Newsom. Needs to look bright and confident. Just punched at that one moment with a fine header. It really was an excellent header by Golka. As Dennis Law was saying, there was precious little Leeds United marking around him. White. There goes the half-time whistle. It's 1-1 here in Barcelona between Leeds and Stuttgart.
Howard, quick comment on the first half.
Well, never going to be easy, and it's proved that way. We're doing quite well. A couple of things we've got to tighten up on, but it could have been worse. On the whole, apart from the last 10 minutes when they got a bit of a grip of the game, quite pleased.
Thank you.
Substitutions have been made in the half-time interval. We start the second half with the score at 1-1, with Stuttgart in the red strip to kick off. As Walter was saying, it's a good first half performance by Leeds, but it's showing again that you really do at this European, at this stage of the game, you do have to concentrate the whole second you're on the pitch. It's one slip and you're done for. Kovacic. Schaefer. Kovacic again. Again towards Volta, but White butted away very steadily indeed. A little touchdown there by Lee Chapman. Goal for the goal scorer. Volta very nearly getting in behind Newsom, but Newsom did well to stretch out a long leg and get that one away. Throw then to Stuttgart. Buchwald. Just going in there. It was Batty, I think, who got an acrobatic and important little header there as that ball looked to be heading towards Fritz Walter. It over Fronzek's head, but Cantona's back heel coming off the German defender for a Leeds United throw to be taken by David Batty. Strachan. Some neat little play there by Strachan and by Batty. Flick to the outside of the boot there by Batty. Speed's header, but Strachan was down and injured, it seemed to me, after the ball had gone. Tackled by Kurgel. Dennis Law?
I didn't really see it, Brian. I was watching Speed there actually being shoved off the ball.
Christoph Baum on the left with a moustache. Peter Hoeneß, the two men behind Stuttgart.
It's a quieter start for Leeds in the second half, and I think maybe that equalising goal had just shaken them a little bit, and maybe they, you know, the first 10 or 15 minutes of the second half, they might not be as adventurous as they were in the first half, particularly as Walter Smith was saying, with the two fullbacks in particular pushing off Dorigo and Fairclough. I mean White. So there may be just a little bit of a sort of 10-minute spell where nothing particularly happened.
Buchwald's header. That wouldn't worry me actually if they took a slightly more cautious approach. Take what chances are coming, but also be well aware of the danger of Stuttgart on the counter-attack. Gets Strachan and a yellow card against Fronzek.
Well, Well, again, I mean, Frontek's come in there and clattered Strachan down, and Italian referee did rightly booked him.
That's his second yellow card in this round, which means that if Stuttgart do go forward to play Glasgow Rangers, he'll miss the first leg there. It's Chapman, and a goal kick. Chapman clearly thought that was a corner.
Nice little movement there, back and forward. But I think Chapman
tends to suggest that Lee Chapman was becoming the old soldier there a bit.
Correct.
Good jump by McAllister. What a good one. A nice little knockdown by Cantona. And Cantona offside.
Yes, we haven't seen a great deal of the front two. As I said, early on in the first half, wasn't it? The ball's knocked up to Chapman. I mean, Cantona well offsides there, but you know, they haven't really been in the game, but they've got to keep battling. This is, you know, keep the Stuttgart defence on the hop all the time, and it will be a battle for them.
It's Schaefer for Stuttgart. Looking it forward, speed. A lovely touch by him, but he can't get it picked up by McAllister. Dubicic to Kurgel. Dubicic. Frontek. Fairclough, the wrong wavelength there with Strachan, able to touch. McAllister driving forward again as Batty does through that midfield. And here is Batty taking the ball from McAllister, flicking it now for Strachan, with Dorigo away and a good deal of space on the left-hand side. Cross coming in now towards Lee Chapman. Looks very assured, the 22-year-old who's come into the centre of this Leeds United defence tonight. Dorigo playing it forward again towards Lee Chapman. Buchwald hanging all over him. Chapman complaining. Referee wanting none of it. Certainly it's a frustrating night for Lee Chapman. He's got Buchwald around him all the time. A very experienced defender. The ball played there. The defender with not a lot of experience. Newsom doing very well and finding Strachan with it. Strachan just knocking Kurgel out of the way. Brings it forward, tries to get it into Cantona. Might get it back again though. Frontek turning it this time for Sverrisson. Now up to Golka, the goal scorer in that first half. Playing it through. Baldas after this one. Newsom's got to get across there and does it superbly.
Excellent piece of defender. I think there was a few people worried when Newsom went to the centre of the defence, but he's played extremely well tonight, and this was a very, very important tackle on Walter.
So throw to Stuttgart. Stremel with it. Buchwald. Stopped by speed. Stremel. Buchwald. Again it's Buchwald. Problems here for Leeds, but not now.
Well, if that had been a better ball in, then it really could have been very serious for Leeds.
Walter was waiting at the near post. Dubicic. Looking it forward again. John Newsom. David Batty. Up to Cantona. Says the referee. Schaefer falling to the ground. Speed. Dorigo. McAllister. Knocked out of the way by Dubicic. Buck playing it in to Golka. Got Kurgel one side of him, Balta the other. Here's Kurgel. Fought the Leeds hold this up. Kurgel shot charged away there by Fairclough. Frontek. Golka. Strachan forward to Cantona. I don't think Strachan will get to that one. Cantona's touch deserted him there. Fairclough going in, losing out. Dubicic now for Stuttgart. Stremel shot. Knocked away by Chris White. David Batty for Leeds. towards Chapman again. Buchwald there with him, shoving Chapman in the back, knocking him to the ground. Chapman gets up again. McAllister knocks it forward. Immel putting it rather clumsily into touch, and Strachan trying to make something of it with a quick throw. Gets it back from Lee Chapman, knocks it forward in again there, but again Buchwald, who's done a really good marking job on Chapman. It's frustrating for Chapman and frustrating for Leeds, but you have to say that Guido Buchwald has done a really good defensive job tonight for Stuttgart.
Well, he's been all over Chapman, hasn't he? He was in the first two games, and certainly he's continued in tonight's game. They've been a bit more adventurous in the second half. I think that equalising goal just before half-time will give them a tremendous amount of confidence, and they've come out and they've played it a little bit better than they did in the first.
Here's David Batty. Remember, the match must be decided tonight. Either after 90 minutes, we'll get 30 minutes of extra time if it's still level after 90. And if it's still level after that, we get, of course, a penalty shootout. Chapman knocking it down for Batty. In for Gordon Strachan. McAllister's made a good break away towards the far post, but Strachan took it the other way. It's a Leeds throw. Fairclough will take it. Good foul. Franzek, miskicked. Batty trying to turn it away. Straymall being helped. At least Batty being helped out by Newsom. It comes now for Chapman, and now for Strachan again. Fairclough had gone forward but can't get to that one. It's a goal kick. 10 minutes of the second half gone. 1-1 here in Barcelona between Leeds United and Stuttgart for the right to play Glasgow Rangers in the next round. First leg at Ibrox, second leg at Ellen Road. Speed. Batty. Coming out of their shell a little bit now, Leeds United. McAllister. Cantona being well watched by Schaefer. This is Buck. Fonseca. Kirby. Sverison. Dubicic. Buck. Stopped by Cantona. Yes, and Cantona's away now. Chapman up there with him, and he showed too much of it to Gorka, a good midfielder who got back so well and so quickly. Sverison. Good foul. Dubicic venturing forward again. Sweeper. Kurgel. Giving it now to Gorka. Trying to flick it through to Walter. Trying to get it back to Kurgel again. Leeds at the moment just can't get a foot on this ball. And Batty gets a yellow card.
Yes, it looks, yes, well, the referee's booked that many of it. Maybe he just left his foot a little bit hanging in the air and caught Sverison.
Yes, he did.
No, the referee was right there, so there was no danger that Batty was going to get booked. But as you say, Brian, Leeds have been pushed back. I just felt that in this, particularly the second half, they've looked a little bit more confident. Now they've started to push forward. Maybe they feel that they could get a second goal, but certainly the equalising goal has done them a part of good. And particularly Kogo coming in on this, the number 11 on this side, he's been more prominent. He was hardly in the game in the first half, so I'm sure that the manager has said that, listen, let's try and get the second goal. And we've pushed Leeds back quite a bit. Oh yes, there's no There is no danger.
That would have been painful. And a free kick then. Let's hope this is not painful for Leeds United. Sverrisson, the unfortunate man. Golka behind this free kick, and Baldas also. Also. Baldas lining up the free kick. Well, into the vast empty spaces behind that goal.
I think he was being a little bit optimistic there. I mean, that must have been all of what, 35 yards? I mean, I don't think he's got that great a shot.
The goal kick then for Leeds. Lukic with it. Coming up to the quarter of an hour mark at the start of the second half. Turned beautifully, Cantona there, completely fooled Schaefer. Gets the ball into the path of Gary Speed, does it? Cantona was waiting for it, and Fonzek was in. White trying to keep it going now for Leeds, playing it in towards Eric Cantona again. Will come for Chapman, they come now instead for Fairclough. Strachan. And to get to that byline, gets a corner for Leeds off Michael Fonzek. So White's gone forward. Chapman stationed at the near post. Fairclough, Cantona in there. Newsom's come up from the back as well. Strachan's corner for Leeds. Floated in, knocked away. McAllister trying to turn it back again. Stremel getting it forward. There's a good break on here for Stuttgart. Could be problems here for Leeds. It's Buck. Golka wanted it played a bit quicker than that. And in goes Batty. A lovely little challenge by Batty. And then turns defence into attack with a nice little ball to Gary Speed. Oh, but a bad one by Speed, not reaching Chapman. Fairclough with the throw.
Down the side! Down the side!
Hughes knocking it in. Foul on Cantona. Michael to Schaefer.
Certainly hit the elbow in there.
And Leeds United's free kick. All a bit of play acting that, I think, just to take the Germans off guard. A little bit of play acting there as Strachan and McAllister were showing apparent frustration with each other, just hoping that they would get the German defence to relax for a second and then whip in that other free kick. Oh, they got a corner lead, which Strachan will take. Chapman again at the near post and plenty up from the back. Back again, charging away for Stuttgart. Played this time for Golka. Nice gentle pass forward to Kürgel on this side. Also marauding in those central areas again, but at the moment it's Dubacek. Looking for a good cross in. Newsom getting it away with a good header, finding Gary Speed, knocked away quickly by him. And Schaefer clearing it for Stuttgart. Gains Speed getting in quickly. And this time Cantona gets possession. Hasn't been his night so far, Big Eric, is it?
Well, it's been difficult, Brian. It's not the type of game that sort of suits him tonight. There's been a lot of high balls and long balls battling, and they've not really, it's more or less gone to Stuttgart all the time. He's had a couple of nice little runs, hasn't he? But it's not just quite come off. But he's won the corner, and you never know something might come.
Yes. Which Gordon Strachan will take. White on the edge of the 6-yard area. Chapman there, right at that near post. Floated towards Chapman, looked as though he's being pushed! And Newsom with a shot. Certainly looked as though Chapman was being very badly pushed there. He tried to get to that corner.
But he's done it all the time, isn't he? Bookfeller's always been pushing him all the time. And of course, when the ball comes to Newsom, he has a snap shot, wasn't it? Didn't get a hold of it.
Coming up to the 20-minute mark of this second half. Leeds United 1, Stuttgart 1. Here's McAllister in yellow-shirted Leeds. Deflected there, Chapman very nearly got to it. A little deflection there, I think, off Schaefer. Just wrong-footed German defence for a moment.
Well, that's where they've got to go, down the flanks, whether it's on the left or the right, and then you might get like Cantona and Chapman coming there. It's much easier for them. It's much more difficult for defenders.
Strachan again with the corner, floating it in once more. Can Chapman get his head to it? No. Germans flick it away. Golka getting it up to Buck, but there's not a lot of support for him. Golka's gone forward. Even Buchwald now getting up from the back. And a long sweeping ball to this side of the field picks up Ludwig Kögel. They're holding up. Fairclough's doing his best. Getting some support from Batty. Fonzek hitting it! My goodness me, Dorigo. Thought for a moment was in great danger, and I think probably he did as well. Putting that through his own net.
They've played much better as a unit this second half, haven't they? All right, they've defended when Leeds have attacked. They've defended in numbers, and when I mean numbers, they've had 11 back, but they've attacked, and there was a full-back front check to come up into that attack and have the shot. So as a unit, they've played much better.
Dorigo's heart beating fiercely there for a moment or two as Kögel now lines up this corner for Stuttgart. Fonzek right in front of Lukic. Knocked in there. Leeds get it away quite comfortably, but it won't quite reach Strachan. Buck. Now Batty. Getting it away, McAllister. First off now to Cantona. And again, Cantona's pass was found wanting. Fonzek will take it. Played for Germany in this last summer's European Championship in Sweden. Here's Schaefer. Sverrisson. Get back down that flank again. Dorigo sticking with him. Stuttgart's throw. Coming towards the halfway mark of the second half now. 1-1 still here in Barcelona. Schaefer couldn't get to it. Strachan very nearly did. Fonzek, though, can pick it up now for Stuttgart. They've got plenty of red shirts forward. Long shot, shouldn't really worry Lukic.
No, the effort was a good effort, but John Lukic had that covered all the way. It was a long shot. I mean, he could hit the ball. Fonzek can certainly hit it, but there was no danger. Lukic had got that well covered.
Leeds United substitutes tonight. Mervyn Day, Carl Schutt, David Rocastle, Scott Sellers and Ray Wallace. Rod Wallace not fit be actually on the substitutes bench here. And they had hoped they might just press him into service and frighten Stuttgart's defence with his quick-fire attacks. But he couldn't quite make it. Ray Wallace is on the bench there. Strin. Wide again. Up. Golka's shots. Certainly a much improved performance by Stuttgart in this second half, but here's Cantona playing it nicely into the path of Gary Speed. Chapman's poised in the box. Playing it now for Dorigo, knocked in first time. Chapman was diving in with a header, but the angle was all wrong for him.
It was very difficult to get any direction on that. I mean, he was in front of the ball, really, wasn't he? And couldn't do it. But Stuttgart they played much better, as we say, this second. United's midfield looks a little bit ragged. They sort of lost, they're sort of getting strung out, allowing Stuttgart to come through.
But you wouldn't know where to put your money at the moment, would you?
Not at all. No.
Good jumper game by Gary Speed. And one there by Eric Cantona. Strachan. Good work that Bat is doing. This side of the field now, taking that pass from Strachan. The back heel came off Kurgel. A Leeds United throw. Chris Fairclough waiting to take it. Leaves it for David Batty. Towards Chapman. It's going to be a corner for Leeds.
Now you see again, they will pull everybody back into the penalty area, and this is a situation if the corner comes to go, just need a little break, because it's not always cleared correct.
Strachan with it, floated towards Chapman, and in the end, well, it was Strabel hacking it away to touch.
When there's so many bodies there, you've seen that. I mean, it was hacked away, wasn't it?
Batty. Knocked in again towards Cantona. Chested down by him. McAllister hoping to pick it up, but McAllister's feet were high there on Sverrisson. Free kick. Stuttgart.
The ball just stopped there, didn't it? There was White. And of course, then it was just clear.
20 minutes of this second half to go. Might well be facing extra time. Sverrisson. Arthur Buchwald. The left foot shot without any power, but it was deflected by a Leeds defender, which just for a moment, Newsom I think it was, caused a little flutter in that Leeds defence, but Lukic was nicely behind it. There's his clearance up towards Lee Chapman, knocked in by him towards Strachan. Dubicic. Golka finding Stremel. Golka again. Giving Dorigo the chance to get in there now. Dorigo motoring down that flank. Speed outside him. Still with Dorigo. And knocked in and knocked away well by the defender for a corner for Leeds.
Well, Dorigo had done extremely well there, didn't he? He got behind the Stuttgart defence, and really if the final ball, Brian, had just been a little bit, instead of driven across, it had been chipped because there was Cantona and Chapman there at the far post.
Corner for Leeds. White up again for this one. And still this European Cup tie perfectly balanced at 1-1. Trying to flick it on, Chapman trying an overhead. No one in the yellow shirt there near enough to rod it in. Batty now retrieving it for Leeds. Cantona, he's lost possession again there. And committed the foul in trying to get it back again. His touch really hasn't been quite right tonight. Lost cause from the moment Walter took possession of it. Zek. Dubicic. Zek. Good little interception there by Fairclough, but again Cantona's pass has gone astray. Didn't look likely to reach McAllister, and it set Leeds going, Stuttgart going again. Golka being hustled by Speed rather. It all beginning actually with a mistake by Eric Cantona.
Yeah, he hasn't had the best of nights regarding his first touch, and he lost that ball, and of course Golka went right up. Speed could have been pulled on for a foul. The referee let play go on, and there was Golka to a really tremendous shot over the bar.
Well, Carl Schutt warming up now, the striker for Leeds. It might just mean that, as we do, that Howard Wilkinson feels that it's not Eric Cantona's night.
In the meantime, it's Fronzek. Little touch now for Kogel.
Cross comes Newsom again. Done such a good job at the back for Leeds United tonight. But a throw to Stuttgart. It'll be another throw. White gets it away. Kept his nerve very well in a very ticklish situation there for a moment. Buck. Missing Barrigo. Again, Chris White sticks out the foot, gets it away. Does it come all the way through to Cantona? No, can't quite get possession of it. Stuttgart again to Golka. Kogel. Chip and a good one. Fronzek up there ahead of him. Gets the cross in, and a very good cross indeed. Good play there by Stuttgart, but the ball has gone out for the corner. Strachan is very annoyed with that decision. And I think Leeds are going to take Eric Cantona off. Very disappointed as he comes off, actually, Eric Cantona, but Carl Schutt comes on. Took the corner while the substitution was being made, so that'll have to be taken again. Golka will take it. Fronzek's again right in front and trying to get in front of Lukic. There he is. There's the corner coming in. Leeds getting it away once more. And Barrigo. Up to Schutt. His first touch. The Buck is there. Schutt now. Now can he find Strachan? He had a chance to find Strachan, but he finds the net! He's straight on Carl Schutt, who celebrates a birthday tomorrow and celebrates a goal tonight.
Absolutely.
A wonderful shot.
As you said, but absolutely fantastic, wasn't it? Because when the ball was played through to him, he took it round the defender, as we'll see. I thought he had lost it. He then looked as though he was going to pass it to his right. He changed his mind, came back. I thought he'd lost it again. He took it forward and had a left foot, nutmegged the goalkeeper. Can't get better than that. On the pitch for the first time. Oh, absolutely magnificent.
Scored within a minute of coming on. An absolute masterstroke by manager Howard Wilkinson. And a joyous sight there for all fans of Leeds United. Carl Schutt puts Leeds 2-1 ahead. Leeds with, let me see, 13 minutes left. Schaefer. The word from the touchline is that Eric Cantona's had a little touch of tonsillitis all week and is feeling just that little bit under the weather. But an absolute masterstroke there by Howard Wilkinson. What good timing. Oh, here could be problems. Dubicic coming in. And the flag stays down. Golka trying to turn it back in, and I think probably hit the post with it, or certainly the side netting. It goes behind. It's a goal kick.
Really want to let off there, because I hope we see it again. Oh, hit
and a photographer in trouble as well.
You'll get a corner for that. I thought it hit the post. But when Dubicic knocks his ball, it looked as though he was offside. I think it's called
Golka.
Golka it is, yes. And it hits the post. I'm sure it hits the post.
Yes, it
there
does.
it was. And that's somebody must have collided into the photographer then. When I first saw it, I thought he was offside. There was no danger. He was not offside. You could see that now, no danger.
Chris Fairclough playing him on.
Correct.
But the photographer's, I think, in a bit of trouble behind that goal there. The physios have been there. Golka is back on the field of play again. Leeds United leading by 2 goals to 1. And we'll give you a countdown of the time now. Just over 11 minutes to go now. Here comes Strachan, bursting on the scene. Shot in the middle. Chapman in the middle too. McAllister coming in as well. He can't quite get to that one. Shot can't get to it either. Tries to hold back Buchwald. Brings down Buchwald. That might well be a yellow card for Carl Schutt. What an amazing 3 or 4 minutes he's had on the field then. Scores a goal that puts Leeds 2-1 ahead, and then a moment or two later gets a yellow card.
I think a little bit of frustration, wasn't it? Because when the ball had come in from Strachan, it sort of went past Schutt and he just chased Buchwald. Mind you, to be fair, that Buchwald has hit plenty through the game. It's got high time somebody hit him as it turns.
And Adrian Knupp, the Swiss international striker, coming on. It's their second and last substitute. It's the last stroke that Stuttgart could play. It's Sverrisson who's gone off. Dubicic with the free kick. Important that Leeds stay firm now. Buchwald with a header. Lukic gets there. We're down to 10 minutes to play. Knupp, who scored a couple of goals for Switzerland against Scotland in a World Cup qualifier a few weeks back, so Gary McAllister will know all about him.
Well, Leeds really have just got to try and calm it down a little bit. Wasn't this lovely? I mean, just to come on, knock it and nutmeg the goalkeeper as well.
I thought he had a birthday at about this time, and I saw him in the hotel today, and I said, when is it? He said, it's Saturday. He said, but don't tell too many people about it. Well, you all know at home now. And what a celebration if Leeds can just hold on for another 10 minutes. Here's Batty. Into Strachan. Shots waiting on the far side. Gary Speed. And away come Stuttgart again. Here's Knupp. 9 minutes left. And a good challenge there. That time I think it was Dorigo. Knocked away there by Lukic. Long towards Carl Schutt. Speed will pick this one up for Leeds. Schutt waiting in the middle. Here's Strachan on this side of the field. Good jump by Buchwald. Good defending there by the experienced German. And sends Kürgel on his way again. 9 minutes left. Golka, stopped by White. Here's Fairclough. To Chapman, battling away there. Fairclough just getting it through to Batty, turning away from Knupp. Kürgel's after him. Speed turning away again. Turning away once more, this time from Walter. And then finding Batty. Don't get too cocky now. Just play good, simple football and disciplined football, Leeds. 8 minutes left. Up goes Schutt. Finds Chapman. Playing it taking it very deep for some reason here. Keeping possession. Finds Strachan. And knocking it through to Carl Schutt again. A free kick for Leeds United. It'll take up a few more seconds.
That'll do them nicely if they could keep possession and don't do anything sort of crazy. And at times, not throw too many men forward. Keep themselves there. Little Strachan played a nice little ball.
Now, Speed with the shot. Well saved by Immel. Grabbed it at the second attempt. Newsom being harassed here by Walter. The header back means, of course, that Lukic can safely gather it with his hands. There's the free kick being quickly taken. Speed shot being saved at the second attempt by Immel. Batty again. White. Looking forward towards Chapman. Newsom. Speed. White getting it away. Again to Lee Chapman. And there's no one there in a yellow shirt. Golka. Buchwald. Don't anybody take anything for granted yet. Dubicic. Golka, rather Franzek with a shot.
Well, it's obvious that they're going to try and get the equaliser, O'Brien, and they're pushing people forward. But if Leeds could just try and keep possession and don't, like Chapman there, give away a bad ball, didn't he, really? If he could just, I know it's easy talking here, and it's more difficult on the pitch. The Leeds fans will obviously be very happy, but if they can do that, you know, and just sort of keep the ball away from Stuttgart, don't let them get possession, then they're going to win the game.
Fairclough. Little touch by Schutt. Strachan playing it in now for Lee Chapman. And it's a goal kick.
And that was Gary Speed there, and I think Lee acknowledges that. It was a terrific ball into him, but when Lee got it, Gary Speed was on his left. You could see him just coming into the penalty area now. Instead of squaring that ball, he elected to shoot, didn't he? He pulled in that gap.
Inside the last 6 minutes, Batty meeting that goal kick from Immel. Knocked away that time by Chris White. Torrigo trying to get there first, but couldn't make it first place. But White gets it clear up to Carl Schutt. Just don't take anything for granted at home at the moment. So it's looking good at the moment as we come to the 5-minute mark. Then, of course, that Stuttgart won the German First Division title last season with a goal in the last 5 minutes of the final game.
Oh, Brian, what are you trying to do to me?
Batty has been everywhere, and what a good ball by Batty. And look at those legs of Strachan carrying him forward again. 35 years old, so full of life and fire and invention, and a good cross in there, and Chapman! Flying header.
Strachan has been absolutely superb, as you say. He's never stopped running all the game, and when you feel that they're leading 2-1, you think sometimes he'd stay back. He didn't. He's gone forward. He's knocked a lovely cross in for Chapman. Beautiful header. Thought it was in, actually, because he connected well, didn't he? It was a lovely cross. Nice header. Not far off.
Offside flag has gone up against Lee Chapman. We're into the last 4 minutes now. Leeds leading by 2-1. Offside flag has gone up against Lee Chapman. We're into the last 4 minutes now. Leeds leading by 2-1. Buchwald knocking it forward again. McAllister's right back there defending now. And Newsom, who's been an absolute rock at the back tonight for Leeds, gets it away. Chapman trying to play Carl Schutt in again. Schaefer. Buchwald. Stremel going forward. Gary McAllister. Torrigo. Skated over the last challenge. He's got to wait for some reinforcements to come up as well. But Speed is there, onto the left foot, Gary Speed! And Torrigo onto the left foot, Torrigo, no. Oh, we were forcing that ball in from the commentary box there, but it just wouldn't go, and it's Buchwald instead bringing it away, and Leeds still leading by by 2-1 and 3 minutes of the match left. That's gone out of play, that's a goal kick.
We'll be quite happy with that, but Torrigo did ever so well, then he picked out Speed, he knocked it well past. I thought, well, it's in. But it was a good save.
2.5 minutes. Leeds leading by 2-1. Strachan and Schutt are scorers. Really, this is a tie that has taken so many twists and turns, and so much of it has been played behind UEFA's locked doors, and I think, you know, one further word probably that needs to be said about that is that through all these UEFA politics that Leeds have been restrained and dignified in just about everything they've done from their chairman downwards, and now possibly tonight they're just a few minutes away from getting their just desserts. Just over 2 minutes left. Free kick not taken from the right place. We're coming towards the last 90 seconds. So important that Leeds stay really firm, keep their shape, do the simple thing. Retreating, a deep free kick there. Two defenders going for that one. Knut trying to hammer it through, and I think for a moment it caught Lukic on the wrong leg.
It did as well. I mean, Nope, he hit it reasonably well. I thought Lukic sort of, you'll see him, he sort of gets a bit slippy. Oh dear. But he saved it.
Well, Franzek trying to hold up Lukic taking that, making that clearance, and I really don't see the point of that. I mean, the one thing that there's the shot that Lukic saved. The one thing that Stuttgart surely want is to keep the game in motion now. We're inside the last minute, plus whatever time the Italian referee adds on. And it's Glasgow Rangers at this moment who await Leeds United in the next round. If Leeds can just hold on for these last few seconds. Here's Carl Schott. A real super sub tonight, and Leeds get a throw.
That's what to do. If Carl Schott could keep it on that far side, I know it doesn't. It's not pretty to watch, but it is the thing to do.
Another throw for Leeds. As the stopwatch ticks round now to the last 5 seconds of normal play. We're into time added on. It's yet another throw for Leeds United. Dorigo for speed. Don't give it away here, Leeds. As Stuttgart comes storming forward again, they know it's the last chance for them. Kürgel in possession now, getting it forward now to Golka. But look at Newsom again there. Running it out of play, the throw goes Leeds United's way. He's been an absolute star tonight, John Newsom. They're not hurrying Leeds, who can blame them? It's taken a long time to get to this point in this tie, after all the heartache that went on behind those closed doors in Switzerland in UEFA. Franzek playing it in. There's still some work to be done though. It's Buck, the dangerous number 7. It's Buchwald as well with a shot, but it's gone wide of Lukic's goal, and that could well be the last chance. We played over a minute now of time added on. Lukic won't be in any great hurry to take this goal kick. But for the sake of appearances and in front of the referee there, he's hurrying along. And it's all over. Leeds are through to play Glasgow Rangers in the next round of the European Cup by 2 goals to 1. Their goal scorers, Gordon Strachan and Carl Schott. There's celebration now on the bench and on the field, and amongst the Leeds United fans. Smiles everywhere. We're going to get a view of Howard Wilkinson in a moment or two, and also the Saints with Dennis Law. What a great story then from Barcelona. Leeds win by 2 goals to 1.
With me, the 2 goal scorers and the manager. First of all, congratulations, great night for Leeds.
Magnificent night, magnificent result, terrific performance, and you've got the 2 stars here.
And a great substitution by the manager, Carl.
Still trying to get my breath back. I mean, it was a brilliant ball by Tony DeVigo, and I just went for it.
And it's your birthday tomorrow, and you're the super sub of the night.
Yeah, 24 again.
And what about Gordon Strachan? I mean, here's the old boy back in business again in a big way.
Yeah, it's a long time since I've been to 24, but this is one of the greatest nights of my career, and it just shows you that you can never take anything for granted. It's been a wonderful night, and hello Leslie and the kids.
Born again.
You got Howard, you've got Glasgow Rangers, whose manager's here tonight. Yeah. In the next round, tell us about that.